Right guys, welcome back. And today, I'm gonna be telling you never to buy a BMW that makes this sound. And I do mean that. If you go to see a BMW or your BMW makes this sound, get rid of it fast. Right guys, so as you know, many people like to purchase BMWs. But the one thing is, many people don't know what to look at when going to buy a BMW. Now, there's three important things you need to make sure when buying a BMW. Everything else can be fixed very easily, very cheaply. These are the main things you have to make sure. And all of these things will make a sound to let you know to run away from that BMW, purely because that BM is about to cost you thousands of pounds that you do not want to spend, and I'm here to tell you how to avoid that. So the first one is rod knock. Now, if you don't know what rod knock is, that is where your bottom end bearings have gone. They've cut into the crankshaft and they haven't got long left. And rod knock is very serious, because you don't know after you bought that car if you're gonna make it 2 miles down the street, 3 miles down the street, or maybe even 100 miles. Now, the noise that's going to make is when you start the car, you will hear the bottom end knocking. It will sound like someone's knocking on it with a hammer, okay? That is the first noise, if you do hear on a BMW, to run from it. Do not buy it. Do not let anyone try and talk you into buying it, telling you something else. If you hear that sound, run. And if you actually want to make yourself very sure that it is that, go to the bottom of the car, put your ear towards the sump, and listen to the bottom of the engine. If the knock is coming from there, it is the rod bearings. Now, as I said many times, many people like to try and get out of that by using a thicker oil to quieten it down. But in actual fact, on cold start, until it gets warm, it is always going to make a very loud knocking sound. And the reason for that is 10W60 is a very thick oil. It doesn't work at cold temperatures. That's why always make sure when you go to buy a BM, the engine is cold. You do not want it started. Don't go to and buy one and the owner's already started it. That is the first one. If you hear it, run away from the car. The next noise I'm going to go on about, and everyone should be aware of this now. If you're not, I'm going to tell you the sounds of it, is a timing chain noise. Timing chains on BMWs. Now, as many of you guys know, this is more prolific on the 2 litres and the 2 litre diesels. Not so much on the 6 cylinders, but it can happen. Now, timing chain noise is going to make like a grinding sound. It's going to be like grinding, like the gears and the chain are slapping. Now, you guys should know what a chain sounds like, even on a push bike, on anything. And think of it like it's not lubricated, like the chain is grinding, like it's cutting out all over the place, stalling. You will know the chain is messed up on the engine. If you hear that, again, don't let anyone try and fob you off, because again, so many people like to use a thicker oil inside the engine. But again, like I said, if they do not start the car from cold to try and get oil up to temperature, it is not going to stop that noise. That's why you, when you go to purchase one, do not let the old owner try and tell you they'll start the car, warm it up, or they've moved it. If they tell you they have moved that car, oh, they've just got it from around the back and had to bring it to the front, walk away from that car. Usually it's a lie. They've started it up to avoid you hearing a certain noise to get it up to temperature. That is what they have done, because the oil is basically too thick. It's not going to drown out that noise. They need to wait for it to break down to drown out that noise. That's why I'm telling you guys, don't let anyone try and mug you off or try and flog you. Some car that's got issues. Timing chain noise, you will hear. It makes a very loud grinding noise when the chain's going, and it is not a nice sound. If you do want to hear what that sounds like, you can go to YouTube, on YouTube, and hear what a timing chain failure actually sounds like, or what it sounds like when it's going out. Many people already know what it's like, but yes, look it up before you go to buy a car and be aware of that. And especially, like I said to you, the other one, which is rod knock. The next one on these is lifter tick. Now, lifter tick is very common, especially on these M52 engines, but it's very common on a lot of engines. A lot of people do message me saying, is it lifter tick? Is it the injectors? A lot of ticking sounds that many people hear are the injectors, but then also a lot of the time it can be lifter tick. Now, on this engine in particular, these M52 lifters are known to drain down over time if left, and it takes a while to fill them back up with oil. Due to the oil pressure, driving it will bring the oil back up, and it takes a while to get rid of it. Now, if it's a serious fault, you are going to have to replace all the hydraulic lifters. If it's not, you'll be able to get away with the oil filling back up and quieting it back down. But a lot of people, now I know a lot of people do this, will use lifter tick, saying it's a lifter tick problem when it's actually a bore score problem. Do you know how many Porsches are out there where people are selling bore scored Porsches saying it's lifter tick, but it's not lifter tick, it's actually bore score. And they get very, very confused between lifter tick and bore score. Now, Porsches are not the quietest of engines, especially because they're so low to the floor, and you can hear the engine, every single noise, the injectors, any kind of chain, anything, because of the way they are. But on BMW engines, that is not the same. You shouldn't hear nothing from these engines with the bonnet shut. These engines should be quiet. If you can hear any kind of noise coming from a BMW engine when the bonnet is closed, any kind of loud noise, run away. These engines should not be making a noise. Believe me on that. And if you do hear any of them issues with rod knock, lifter tick, timing chain noise, run away from that BMW, because that BMW is going to cost you money that the old owner didn't want to spend, and he's playing it very clever to sell it onto you because they didn't want to fork out for it because they know what's wrong with it. So they're trying to pass the buck on to make some other sorry person pay out for all that expense, and because they know it wasn't worth it, and you guys are going to fork out the bill for it because you just bought the car, you've wasted your money, now you're going to end up having to repair it because you spent all your money on a car that's actually gone already, where the engine's gone. So it's either rebuild it or scrap it and lose all your money. But that's all I have to say on the matter, guys. You do what you need to do. As I said, there's videos on YouTube showing you every noise I've mentioned, and that's all there is to it. If you hear any of them noises, run away from a BMW engine. So there you have it, guys. If you go to view a BMW and it has any of them problems, run away. Do not start thinking, oh, should I have bought it? Could it be this? Maybe the owner's right. No. Owners will lie to flog you a car. If you are not sure, bring a very trained mechanic with you to check that car out to make sure it is none of them issues. Because if it is, you have a trained mechanic who will tell you, leave that car, because they will be able to tell you what price it's going to cost to fix and if it's worth it. A lot of people out there will overprice their cars and sell them with issues, with problems, hoping they'll find a dumb person that will just pay them the full money and not even realize. And then the following day, you are left outside your house with a car with an engine that will not start, that you're gonna have to fork out maybe £2,000 for on top of the purchase price. Just know that it happens a lot. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope this video is gonna help you when going to purchase a BMW. Thank you very much for watching. It's BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.